To Doraville in 2001. You're right. It is a very old city, but I do think that the former GM plant at the site of what's today Assembly Atlanta was, a major catalyst for growth for the city over, the last 70 years. Really, I believe the GM plant opened in 1948. Before it opened, there were maybe 400 people who lived in the city. 5 years after it opened, there were over 4,000 people who lived in the city. So really, it was sort of a catalyst for growth for Doraville. I'll say I didn't necessarily know that when I moved here. What I knew was the convenient location, the mid-century architecture, and just proximity to other places I wanted to be in the metro area. Those are the reasons that my husband and I moved here. As I was getting settled in the city, I got involved in my neighborhood, volunteered, took part in our local neighborhood civic association, volunteered on different city boards and committees. And when a city council seat came up, we had done a lot of work on the planning commission and on the comprehensive plan committee about kind of visioning what we wanted the future of Doraville to look like. And I thought that I could help shape that and make sure that we really started moving in the direction that we had identified. And when the opportunity came to run for mayor, nearly 4 years, or I guess 4 years ago, I decided to step up and take that opportunity as well. I don't necessarily think so. I think that, certainly 152 years ago when the city was founded, probably no one who was part of the community at the time would have imagined what Buford Highway would become. I don't think there was even really a Buford Highway until the 40s, really as we know it. I think, it's a part of our history. Really, we were part of the first wave of commercial suburbanization that came down from Metro Atlanta. And, one of the first big suburbs I mentioned earlier, all the growth that we saw in the 1950s and really that continued through the 60s and even into the 70s a little bit. Those storefronts that opened back during the 60s and 70s, is the suburban wave kept moving forward into Gwinnett, into Cobb County. A lot of those retailers moved out and they made way for what would become, a big strength of ours, the immigrant entrepreneurs who settled in Doraville and really made Buford Highway the international hub that it became. I think it's an important part of our history, something that we need to remember and protect. And, it's a big part of the reason that people like living here, to be honest. One thing that I hear a lot about, and I think that our city council has really tried to keep this in mind, is that people want to see smart and well thought out growth. So we live, our geography kind of dictates some of what's going to happen here. We're an inner suburb of city of Atlanta. There is no more land being made in this area. So, so development is going to come to us. I think that how we tackle it and how we plan for that is going to make have an impact on what our city looks like in the future. We have tried to get ahead of that somewhat by rezoning Beaufort Highway to allow for more mixed use development. If we see new housing, we think that's probably the place where it makes the most sense. We've also worked a lot on improving, making starts at improving some of the some things like pedestrian safety, being able to get around through multiple methods of transportation. We have the Doraville MARTA station, which is a great asset, but we want people to be able to get to the station other ways than just driving if they choose to, and in a safe a manner as possible. One thing that I know a lot of people are concerned about is gentrification, but not just related to housing, but also to businesses. We talked about the how important the immigrant business community is to Doraville. We don't want to see that go away. We want to be able to protect that community while still having growth here. And so, I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges that we face as we continue to progress into the 21st century. So when I came to office, one of the things that I said at the time, and still believe, is Doraville is a relatively small community, especially compared to some of our neighbors. We're not going to get anything done unless we're working with our neighboring communities, and really being a part of a larger regional conversation. This year and next year, I'm president of the DeKalb Municipal Association, which is an organization that includes all of the cities in DeKalb except for the city of Atlanta. I'm also a participant along with Brookhaven, Chamblee, Dunwoody, Tucker, and Peachtree corners of the Peachtree Gateway Partnership, and which its function is to collaborate on regional initiatives as well. I talk pretty regularly with all of the North DeKalb mayors, since we sort of touch each other, or almost touch each other in the case of Brookhaven. So yeah, I've got pretty good relationships with all of us, and while we may have different perspectives on individual issues, I think we're on the same page generally in terms of a lot of the regional issues we face. I would still tell people, we have over 150 restaurants in the city of Doraville. A lot of them are frequently on the best of Atlanta restaurant lists. Just off the top of my head, a few of my favorites are Lanjiao Ramen, Snack Box Bistro, Miss Goji Korean. There's so many that really you could eat out on Beaufort Highway every single day in Doraville, and not run out of places to eat for quite a while. I'd also say, the Beaufort Highway Farmers Market is really a gem throughout Metro Atlanta. People go there from all over, really, to buy produce and other products from around the world. It is a pretty amazing place that's been there for as long as I've lived here, and much longer. We have the new exhibition hub that frequently has different kind of art experience exhibitions that are open. So I would recommend that you start with all of those places. If you're looking for a place to live too, I think that our neighborhoods are some of the most convenient to anywhere else in Metro Atlanta. Really the access to Midtown, to Alpharetta, to all over the metro area is really good here because we do have MARTA, we have 285, we have 85, Beeford Highway. You can get where you want to go from Doraville, and coming home is relatively easy too. I think that we probably do need to think about how can we make this road a little more navigable, both for people coming through the city, but also for pedestrians and other users, because not everybody is in the car. We have a fairly large percentage of people in the city whose households don't have cars. Um, I'll say that one of the things I've been really happy with since we've come into office is that the city has been able to get millions of dollars in federal funding to look at how do we improve the pedestrian safety on Beeford Highway. How can work on improving some of the most dangerous intersections on Beeford Highway. It definitely is. There's a lot of special things about Beeford Highway, but that doesn't mean we can't work on how do we make it even better. And so that is something we are focused on. I think really the first thing that I would think about when I'm talking about Doraville is, diversity in the broadest sense possible, like just in terms of the types of people who are here, the types of businesses that we have. Even though we're just 3 square miles, we really do have so many different types of we have quiet mid-century residential neighborhoods. We have some newer communities. We have Assembly Atlanta, which is going to be a major location throughout, really probably for filmmaking throughout the United States. And, I think it's a really special place in terms of, being able to pull all of those different groups of people and different types of businesses together. And, I'm very proud to represent the city that is so diverse.